How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We are taking down the new Dokkan Ultimate Player's Choice Battle, all types rainbow mission, utilizing no new units, right? I know some of you guys got shafted on the banners for GDC and being real. Basically, the only team you're going to be able to set up here that can stack enough, because this is a pretty, it's a medium long event, right? And so, which means you're going to need to be able to stack, right? The Blues team is probably going to be your best bet. So if you didn't, this team is set up assuming you didn't pull them or the new Gogeta. We are utilizing them as a friend, but as you can see, we're running Vegeta and Trunks as a lead, right? With their bond of parent and child setup. There's a few setups you could probably get away with running under the tech Vegito, but you wouldn't be able to use Vegeta and Trunks. And I wanted to use Vegeta and Trunks for this setup, so had to go with them as lead. It actually means we're going to be dealing a little less damage overall, but that's actually beneficial to the early parts of this fight, because what you're going to find out very quick is that they are actually kind of tanky, but they hit really hard. The Pan, for example, right? Like, you're probably going to get through Gyro, to be completely honest, like 1 to 2 turns, like probably 1 turn more than likely, depending on your setup, because he's only got like 95 million HP, and, you know, decent super, 1.6 million, but Pan jumps up to 2.2 million already on turn 2, so that's kind of a rough super for a lot of people to be dealing with. On top of that, right, she gets what we're going to, basically the way they kind of pit this fight against you, right, to kind of extend it, right, to make your stacks longer, is that the characters get the longer the turns go on, they get buffs per turn. So Giru is the only exception. He's the only one that doesn't do that. Now, hopefully we pick up the additional super on... We don't. Okay, I was hoping we would pick up the additional super on Hercule. So, we did need a full rainbow team, and so that's why we brought Hercule. I had initially ran Future Gohan. He can work if you can avoid some attacks in the slot 3 towards the end, but, I mean, if you don't kill Goku quick... and he's, you know, Goku is still alive by turn 2 or 3 in that phase, Gohan's gonna die, and I found that one out the hard way. So Hercule at least has the dodge. We are stacking up here with Vegeta and Trunks, and then looks like we ought to be, well, I don't know if we're gonna keep up these crits. Looks like we ought to be able to pick up at least a stack or 2. Okay, all right, there we go. We get the normal out of them. Okay, so we'll get a stack at least out of the 4s. Vegito, no stacks. I mean, honestly, you could probably run any other tech unit here. Vegito's here just to kind of buy us a turn when we get to Goku. But he's probably, since he's going to be mainly a floater here, he's not going to be doing that much. Our main rotations here are going to be the Gods and the Blues, and then Vegeta and Trunks in the 4s. I would rather keep the 4s on than Vegito. So this is a little... It's gonna be tricky, but I think we got this. So, yeah. So the Pan here, like I said, she bumps up to about 145 million, which is actually kind of a lot for a second phase boss. And again, you know, 2.2 million on that super. Now, one of the ways they extended this, right? You'll notice the health bars here. That health bar is misleading, right? Typically, bosses with this much HP are going to have a lot more health bars, but that's very misleading. 145 million is what she actually has. And then she's also got 66% damage reduction. So, right, that they also gave them, these bosses, high levels of damage reduction as well. So that's kind of why it feels like you're not doing as much damage to these bosses, despite the little bit of health bars. So again, we're just going to try to keep the Blues and the Gods together. And then we'll float the AGL Gogeta and the Tech Vegetos. They'll be our floaters here. But like I said, I mean, if there were, you could probably use any other tech type unit to fill the role if you don't really concerned about Vegito getting his target off. But there we go. All right. So I mean, nice that we got a turn here where we don't really have to worry about the gods possibly getting sniped. Although, I guess it doesn't really matter because Pan ended up supering the blues and we dodged. Blues are very helpful, right? If you've got the blues and you want to run blues, that'll work. Honestly, you could probably run, if you have the blues too, honestly, right? Double VT or double blues is probably the way to go here for this. You could probably also get away with double Super Saiyan 4s. That could be a pretty decent setup because you'll have STR Goku, who should be able to handle most of this, slot 1 or slot 2. He can at least slot 1 it for those 2 turns, turns 3 and turn 4, where the LR4s are kind of vulnerable. But that's just one rotation. You still have your other rotation that kind of has to be protected a little bit, and there aren't too many slot 1 units that can go in next to them. Unless, of course, you get real lucky with super attack placements. There we go. Alright, so Vegeta should tank the normals here, so not too concerned. Yeah, good. Perfect. Although, I am a little bit worried about this next rotation, because again, I almost wonder if it's better to just go for the 12 keys throughout that to stall and stack a little bit more. Yeah, I have a feeling if we crit, Vegeta and Trunks are just going to straight up kill Pan here. And it's very likely that there's going to be a super in slot 1 there, so we don't want to put the 4s there on their second appearance. That would, especially with him not having gained that many supers. Alright, we're just going to have to roll with it. Pray that we don't get the crits on Vegeta and Trunks. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably gonna I'm feeling this. They're gonna kill Pan, and the 4s are not gonna stack. Oh, okay. I'll take that. I will take a missed critical hit. Okay, I'll take another missed critical hit. Not that we need these extra hits after the initial 18 key stack. Really, that's the only one we're concerned about. Oh, but dude, they actually kind of popped off with the supers here. And there's that crit. Okay, and so now the 4s get their super. I suppose we'll be lucky if we get a second super. It'll be nice. There's one. Oh, could we actually get more than one? We might actually be able to. That would be a good thing if we did. We got 3. Okay, that's nice. That's real good. Alrighty, and that's going to move us into the next phase to the GT Trunks. So now this phase, HP is jumping up to about 230 million, and his super up to about 3 million, which isn't too bad in normal circumstances. I mean, at this point, that super would be nothing. However, Trunks has the Goku Black ability where every time we hit him, he gets stronger. So we have to be wary of that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. I guess we'll just keep the blues here. I don't like how the key landed, but it was either let the gods just get the 18 key and get the 18 key on the blues, or end up in a bad situation. So we're just going to roll with this. Now, I am going to swap Vegeta into defense mode here. It does mean our Vegeta is going to have, like, no attack stats, but I don't really know how I feel about Goku trying to take the normals there at the end. Yes, we have type disadvantage, or we have type advantage, but again, as I said, 30% stronger with every hit. Hey, there's the super. And we get the dodge, very nice. Yeah, like I said, 30% stronger with every hit that we do, which means that I feel like Goku could take a little bit of damage here, and I'm not really willing to risk it. Like I said, Vegeto's just kind of along for the ride. You could build a team centered around him and probably get him to just, like... So I might try to do that. But you could probably build a team around him and just get him to solo the final phase if you build him up. But I wanted to, like I said, I really wanted to use Vegeta and Trunks here, and so he is just an extra unit to help fill the team. And since we already have the gods as our main tech unit, so he's not even that necessary. He's not even that necessary. Okay, excellent. We get some more defense raises here. Maybe we could... Well, I mean, because he's got the guard, and if we get beyond the 18 key, he would have extra damage reduction. Maybe he would have been okay here. Maybe. Better safe than... Well, the thing is like, if we had caught a super, though, it, you know... If we had caught a super, it would have been over. Okay. Let's grab that. Ooh, that laid out nice for the 4s. Okay, we'll take that. And then we will... Yeah, let's just take that. Alright, and then we'll give some defense to Gogeta here. And there goes the super on Vegeta and Trunks. And so at this point, Vegeta and Trunks are basically invincible no matter what phase we're in this fight. Really don't know why people hold their turn 1 against them. Right, turn 1 is obviously their worst turn as a stacking unit, so I really don't know why people hold that against them and chuck them in slot 3. Like, literally, let them be turn 1 for, let them be slot 1 for a turn, and then they're your golden child for slot 1 defense. Really don't see the problem here. But here we go. Okay, so they're gonna stack up. We're gonna get the 4s, get a couple more stacks here. I am a little bit worried about Goku not dodging at the end there. I mean, to be fair, Trunks' normals aren't that bad, but with a full 30% or 120%, it'll be the full build-up by the time we... Because 4 hits fully built him up. So, I mean, 120% on the normals, right? So that's 24. That's almost... 3 million normals? Wow. Oh, wow. Actually, yeah. Jeez. Actually, wait. It's a little... It's just under 3. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, look at how much the 4s are taking post-super there. Wow. But we could be in trouble here. We could be in a lot of trouble here. Oh my goodness. A lot of trouble. Alright, we get another super out of Goku. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a lot of trouble. Okay. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab this, and it's a little early, but, I mean, it's turn 7. I didn't want to transform now, but we're going to have to, so they can get their key and deal the damage, because I have a feeling if anything goes wrong with Goku in slot 3, we're in a big mess of trouble. So we're going to do this. Let the blues attack in slot 1. Yes. Okay, let's dodge. Yes. Okay, we get the dodge. Perfect. All right, so 36 million. And then we'll go... Perfect. All right, 29 million. Oh, and we do get the crit. Okay, and then we'll get the massive raise on the 18 key for the gods at least. Hopefully that kills the Trunks. Well, I mean, even if this doesn't, we still got like 4 more supers heading his way. but it does take him down. So at least we get the massively raised, right? And I mean, we're not going to be in this for more than 4 turns, so I mean, we're still benefiting from the massive. We're not going to cap out here. Okay, so we are in the final phase against GT Goku. He jumps up to about 600 million, which is more than the Jiren fights. And this is why I was talking about, like, I actually do like this event. Because, you know, it's actually difficult. So we're going to go ahead and pop Vegito here. Oh, actually, we should have done Vegeta and Trunks' active first. Oh, well. Maybe next turn. So let's just go ahead and let's grab that. Let's see. No, let's let them stack. Let's let them keep stacking. And then next turn we'll transform them. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll have the target up, and again, this is just so we get a free turn. Now, Goku does raise his attack on his Kamehameha, and I think it's a 50% raise. And this is a 4.9 million super, so with a 50% raise, what is this doing? There's a 4.9. Oh, wow, this is a 7 million super if it connects. Wow. And then added onto that, he gets 100% attack at the end of the third, or starting on the third turn, at the end of the second turn. Wow, that's dangerous. 100% attack on his third appearance. That is dangerous, right? So that means that that's super. If you stall till the third turn, that means that that super is doing that's a 14 mil super. Wow. Okay, yeah, like I said, Vegito not going to be doing damage. We didn't stack any attack with him. This is literally just to protect the rotation. There we go. Now the fours get to stack up a little bit more. Yeah, so with this team setup, obviously we're utilizing the blues and the Vegeta and Trunks. Utilizing the blues mainly to for those of you who did not pull the blues or the Gogeta. But if you did pull those units, you can set up a much nicer rainbow team underneath the blues lead. It actually works a lot better than what we're running here, because you can actually have a GT rotation where the fours can keep their full links active, which means they'll be dealing bigger damage here. But you know, with the setup we got to keep them linked with Vegeta and Trunks because they actually do link decently well. And honestly, instead of Tech Vegito, you could probably get away with, if you wanted to give Gogeta a turn to have his links up, you could bring Int Gogeta. Since with this setup, you already have the Tech type covered. But, I mean, having this protected rotation is also kind of nice, so it's not terrible either. Excellent. Alright, we get... Perfect. And, okay, I mean, between this whole turn, what did we do? Maybe a little less than a quarter of his health. There we go. Alrighty, so now we get to make it to the fun turn. Because we have AGL Gogeta, so we'll be able to use his active. Plus, we'll be able to use Vegeta's active here. So let's start by doing this number, popping the, yeah, let's pop AGL Gogeta's active. Okay, not that much damage, but at least it's a crit. We'll take that. Alright, so now we get the buff from Gogeta. Perfect. And then let's pop the active skill for Vegeta. Like I said, I like the support that I said this in previous videos. I like the support that his active gets, and plus I feel it actually does more damage than the Vegito. It feels like more often than not I'm doing more damage with it, especially in the third slot. Okay, let's grab 7 there. And with that, so I think with this setup, since we haven't gotten to turn 3, Gogeta should be able to tank the super here. With the rainbow orbs against Goku. And then we just gotta hope that we can, well, actually, I mean, even if we don't kill this turn, we'll have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta next turn, who we can then just use his active skill. There we go. Another one? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're actually putting in some good damage here. And we get an additional super. Very nice. And here it comes. So, moment of truth. Can Gogeta tank this this 7 mil super? Yes, he did. Look at that. Beautiful. Type disadvantage too, no less. All right, beautiful. We get a action cancel there. 45 million on the 12 key for the blues. All right, nice. We get an additional super. Dude, yeah, this is what I'm telling you. Vegeta hits like a truck. I love it. All right. Oh, are we gonna kill here? We're gonna kill here. Another one? Yeah, look at that. Jeez. Why? And boom, Vegeta kills it. Love it. Dude. They actually made the Vegeta side better than the Goku side. That's crazy. I didn't think they could do that. I mean, I'm not complaining. I do love it. Although I do think the Int Father-Son Calican is much better. So there you have it, folks. There is the new Dokkan Ultimate Player's Choice Battle done. All rainbow missions done without any new units. Obviously, we're utilizing the Friend Blues, and that's kind of how we made the setup here. Again, you could probably get away with a Tech Vegito setup here, as well as or an AGL Gogeta setup, but I wanted to use Vegeta and Trunks specifically for this, so you can see that this new EZA will help you out in this fight, in case you are struggling with it. Obviously, if you did pull the units, AGL Gogeta, Rose, Omega's kind of iffy, but he's got some good members of his team that can handle this fight. But the Blues, most especially, their team will dominate this fight if you have them, because you have a lot of good protection for slot 1, which is where these big supers can be the most dangerous. I like this. I think they found a perfect way to kind of balance medium-long content for the characters that we've gotten. I hope that this fight doesn't get overlooked, because it's definitely... Honestly, I think it's harder than the Shadow Dragons, because that super, right, well, we got lucky this time where most of our supers were all in slot 1. However, you know, if like they ever super in slot 2 or slot 3, or if you don't have a good slot 1 coverage, right, these supers could easily end your units, right? And if the gods fail a dodge, the blues fail a dodge, that 7 mil super could kill you. If you don't kill Goku fast enough, you're dealing with a 14 mil super there by the end. So, like, it can be dangerous, and I do like the challenge that this provides, but hopefully the fight doesn't get overlooked and people can at least recognize that we still have good long content here for these characters who stack. So guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what team did you use to clear the rainbow mission? Did you go for a super class, or did you go for an extreme class, right? Because you can do one or the other. Let us know what you did in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.